Oh my god, are you guys seeing this? I have 2 streams live at once for some reason. The last one still didn't shut down. Wait, hold on. What the hell is going on with YouTube? My internet is fine. I seriously don't know what's up. I don't. Like, I never had an issue before the stream, so I don't know what's up. Oh, there we go. The last stream shut down. Okay. Now the question is, will this one be okay? In more than like a minute. Okay, please. Please behave. Please. Please. If it doesn't this time, then I guess we're doing this tomorrow or something. I don't know. We did have a thunderstorm like 9 hours ago, but I didn't think it was that bad. So I don't know what else it could be. Thank you, Minori. Thank you. Well, for now it's working. Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Hello, guys. Hello. It's me, Devil Guy 8. On YouTube.com. Hey, glad to help, Minari. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Now, internet, please. Behave, okay? You know, I have a feeling it's because I'm editing my stream information, like, you know, monetizing it and all that, adding the tags. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'll do one thing, I'll just monetize. Okay, internet? Please, behave. Okay. Leon, are you having issues too, Sapphire? Is it like a global thing? Okay, let me just add chat and hope things go okay. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry for all the notifications, but let me just add... Shut up, you! I'm trying to figure out... Wait, reactions? What is that? Guys, do you have a feature called reactions on the chat? Is that a new thing? There you guys are. Yo, Nishki. Where? On the 3 dots. Above chat. Can you toggle reactions or no? I never seen that before. I'm wondering what that's about. Reactions. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I see. Okay. I didn't know. Okay, so far it seems to be okay. Can I start the game? Or no? Can I? Yakuza 5? Among 3, 4, 5, what do you recommend beating on Legend first? I want to start with 3. Yeah, 3 is the hardest on Legend, I would say. Or most tedious, probably. 4 is the easiest. 5, I mean, it's easy as well, but 4 is the easiest. Okay, it's going okay so far. I'm gonna start the game. If the thing happens again, I think I'm gonna call it for today. And I'm gonna try tomorrow or something, I don't know. Okay. let this jam finish. I can keep it playing for a little bit. The sooner you start, the sooner you get to the peak case. Oh yeah, don't you worry about that. Hi, got 3 notifications. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Listen, it's my internet, okay? Or YouTube, possibly. Now here's another banger. Wait, hold on. God, let me delete all that shit from my Discord notification channel. There we go. Okay, are we all good? Audio levels, everything. Jario, buddy, thank you for the 16 months. Thank you. Hope work goes well for you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, that's YouTube right now, the Dies of Cringe emote. Can we get a Dies of Cringe in the chat right now? In honor of, you know, the cringe. I just got RE4 Remake and it's way harder than the original. Yeah, getting used to that game does take a bit. Because the movement, I would say, is definitely more... or less responsive than OG4. And sometimes stunning enemies takes longer as well, so that sucks. Okay, Ace Attorney. Trials and Tribulations. What's the case called? Recipe for a Turnabout or something? We're about to wrap up with this case, and we're gonna start and finish the 4th case as well. Now let's hope this goes well. So last time we left off, we found out that the Tigre might be a prime suspect in this case, and we'll try to take him down. Good morning, Maggie. So what do you think is gonna happen today, sir? The subs are gonna come in flying, that's what. Wait, hold on. Speaking of that. Okay. Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt, that was, determination. Why don't I believe you? Yo, Toast. Thank you for the donation. صباح النور. إن شاء الله يومك أوكي لحد الآن. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant seats. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Alright, boys and girls. We're taking down a Tigre. Oh. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me they don't remember this thing? Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in the Trebian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Hey, hey, hey. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, there are aromatherapy oils. Right. We found that one odd bottle. They were all blue, except for this one. It was green. Why is it green? Yo, my cat is Yakuza45. How you doing, buddy? Yo, Apollo. Let's get him, yeah. We finally got the analysis results from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. If you remember, the victim also had, ear medicine. For ears, you mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. Hello, Hojo. What do you think of Manhunt 2? Do you wish for Manhunt 3? I really enjoyed Manhunt 2, and yes, I do wish for a 3. But, I don't know about that. Rockstar seems to be content with GTA Online as a source of income. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but that's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? Hey, go for it, Big Fart. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Go off, King. Go off. Here we go, guys. Moment of truth. Manhunt is a controversial game, yeah. But I feel like it's only because it's one of the first game of its kind at the time. But now, I feel like people wouldn't really give a shit. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. There he is, the coffee guy. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. That nose. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? If you put a needle into Kudo's nose, will it pop? Excellent question. Huh, allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godo. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You got that, chat? You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. I think someone put LSD in Godo's coffee. Yeah, I think so as well. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Oh boy, here we go. And you are? Oh, bonjour everyone. I'm John Armstrong, the owner and head chief of the Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté. That Giotto got... Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am le perky gentleman. No? On the day of the incident, you were in the Tribulations kitchen. Isn't that right? Was you, monsieur? Everything feels right. The Riz. Huh. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations. Oui, whatever that word is. When it all happened, there were 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco... Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Every time I try to read in that accent, I'm just like, you know what, fuck this. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. The cup, the earpiece, the glasses. It would have seen everything in reverse, no? A mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Good luck, Minari. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. Fun fact, I can speak a fluent fake French accent, but I cannot speak French. Nice. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. When was the last time you guys said that to yourself? Anything could have happened. You woke up, you fell off the bed, and you're like, it's way too early for this shit to happen. I just had that moment, actually, with the stream disconnections just now. Okay, so... the cup, the earpiece, everything would have been in reverse. So... no, wait. I'm trying to think of the logic. Like, I have the answer here, but... Phoenix will say it. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, he can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of the head? Order! Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would have expected the victim's eyepiece to have been on his right eye. Objection! Yo, Salmari, how you doing? How bitter. Right, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume. The I broke the vase, sorry apology letter, I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. If Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man... I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Well, try it. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old CD for a minute there. Godo's good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. Okay. Hello. Is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two aisles. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. That was the seat... Wait. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having like a meltdown. Trying to read this. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Okay. But naturally, I didn't touch anything else. I see no problems with the explanation we just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kuro could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. He said he didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Of course. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. The victim... Okay, so... Your Honor, Mr. Kuda's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Kuda, is it not? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Huh. I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does this scrap of paper have to do with the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kuda's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Oh, you guys scared me. I thought the stream was breaking up again. Okay. Okay, so... Where's the crime photo? Yo, Prince J, how you doing, buddy? This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard, Your Honor. The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself. Right? Oh, I'll show you, Godo. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist? The vase! Take that! Now, that is something chat would do, Star. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kuda broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kuda was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Objection! Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kuda could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tigre on that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Got him. Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Oh, they're cooking. Unfortunately, Mr. Godo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Got him. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? No, it did not... Chat, it did not freeze. Don't troll me like this. I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we returned back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? Huh. You only get one shot in life. There is no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? No, 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 Apollo. Chat, no. That's enough. I've had enough heart attacks for this day. I don't need more. There's more than just one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all applies in the face of Mr. Kuda's testimony. God, this theme is such a buff. And of course, when I say it, it just disappears. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kuda's testimony is simple. Mr. Kuda made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. This case is riddled with contradictions. There is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kuda witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an impostor, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the impostor's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Well, okay, that is a crazy theory. What? I forgot about this. There's the song again. A banger. Order! Order in the court! Settle down, or I'll clear the courtroom. That's when chat gaslights me about the stream going down. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? That's right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... the serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... there was one, and only one, reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird and the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh.
Objection!
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Alright. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. The victim, Monsieur Elg, came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got the word that he won the lottery, Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. There was no time for a phony to do acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all? Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Get him right. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Yes, he comes for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Didn't he say it tasted like shit? I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. Nice. Wonder how much people got in trouble because of perjury in this series. Oh yeah, it happens a lot. I should ask about that in more detail. How many minutes after... No, wait. That's not it. What time was it? I can't remember. I believe we were told by witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The victim must have arrived between 2 and 2:10. The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Merci bien. God damn it. He's getting infected too. I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Okay, wait, so... There was... Oh, there we go. Experience the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30. 1:30. Oh yeah, you're right, Salmari. I forgot. Man, it's been so long since I studied French. I shouldn't try to speak French even. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of $500,000 lottery ticket. Right. I can't see any problem with the testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point of time. Got him! This victim, we've been told about, has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion he can draw from these facts. This victim was an impostor, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Damn, that is like very soon after the murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tigre on that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Sus is right. Quite a performance, right? You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of the rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elk is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elk was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elk, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Uh-oh. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Yo, Azzy. Been a while. How you doing? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me to a corner instead. What will we do, chat? Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elk concealed? What does chat think of this one? What happened? I want to know. I just got here. Murder case. Inside. I already know. Inside. It was concealed at the empty lot, yeah. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside the Trebian. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed is the kitchen, I guess. I mean, it's the most obvious place.
Take that!
The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can he back it up? Where is the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Let's see. Probably that.
Take that!
Yo, Dixon, how you doing, buddy? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? Lies. Look at all the denial here. I only use the very best bottles. No. Where was the bottle found, Mr. Wright? Tell him. Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trebian. But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Nice. Glen Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Uh-oh. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hit the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. Order! Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk? Never! I could not do such an horrible thing. No, oh. What the? Godo, you okay, buddy? Oh. He's not okay. Mr. Godo? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Wait, as in like hit them with the cup? The empty cup? Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend? Wait, I don't get it. What does that mean? Please, you must air me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español. What? Mr. Armstrong. And por favor is Spanish. Oh, thank you, Ezzy. Thank you. I'm gonna ask you only once. Did you do it? No. Absolutely not. Let's hear it. You got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godo's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Right. Leon, he can speak French and Spanish, but can he speak Russian? I can speak none of those languages. I know a few words in, I guess, all of the languages, but that's about it. Why do they always say in the movies, I've got a bad feeling about this? Yeah, why do they say that? Okay, let's see what they have to say now. It is true, I hid a body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it, I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him, I swear, you must believe me. You were forced. By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question, then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? Oh, speaking of erased, no, I'm not gonna mention Gaiden. Original, I know, but have you guys seen Equalizer 3? I watched it yesterday with my family. Pretty good movie. Some of the themes in that movie actually reminded me of Kiryu. Would recommend if you like action movies. There was... Uh-oh. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. A man forced me to do it. Now, who could that be?
Objection!
Let's end this dance of ring around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man you've been referring to. Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? I will still never understand how they all got fooled. This man is Fiorio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least not while he had this on you. The loan contract. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? Yo, Sam in the hat, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, this is some fakery type of deal. That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong, a tiger. He told me he was gonna use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. Fake Phoenix is very believable when you compare it with rubber bullets and Golden Castle coming out of the ground. Okay, it is more believable, maybe, yeah, but also, keep this in mind. This guy had a cardboard fucking badge, okay? And he's supposed to be way more tan than the original Phoenix. And the way he speaks is so different. And he has no lawyer skills at all. Like, you would think it's something... there's something off. Yeah, I would say thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I just did what he told me to do. I had no chance. I carried the body and what? Unconscious, I guess. Maggie out of the dining area. And into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. Yeah, Azzy. Look at that face. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Fiorio Tigre. Leon, saying Phoenix has lawyer skills is like saying I know what I'm doing with my life. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Yeah, he does have drip, I'll give him that. The suit Tigre has is pretty good. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Meg who had done it, I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Goro, you will summon this Fiorio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. Or will they? 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. You know, you gotta give props to Goto for getting this guy on the stand. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. The request is granted, Mr. Goto. We'll resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Alright. So we're finally gonna see the Tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the Tiger told him to do. But Goto picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. Oh, I see, You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. There's a really interesting bit of character to Goto, which I think is awesome, but I'll save it for after we beat the game. Yeah, that's fine. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Oh, by the way, let me check something. Okay, my viewership is way, way better, I think, when I stream at my, like, normal timing. Because, I think the first few streams of this game, I streamed at, like, 10 p.m. my time to, like, you know, 2, 3 a.m. And we had like, give or take 20 less viewers than we do now. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair is standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topnut. It's not a top nut. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have any decisive piece of evidence, right? Yo, thank you for the super chat, X-Brett. Thank you, thank you. Do you think you can do the Jingo laugh? Maybe. I don't know. Also, why is Virgil a lawyer with a mask on? Is it Virgil? That's the question. Because there's another character people keep comparing him to. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. He said he could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? The bottle?
Take that!
Yo, Stefano. You didn't miss much, you know. We had a trial session with Mr. Armstrong, the restaurant owner, and we basically proved that the murder that happened, another, like, imitation of it happened to create a witness. And we proved that, that Tigre is, you know, involved as well, so now they're gonna bring him. That's the small bottle I gave you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Nice. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Thank you, expert, thank you. This lobby theme. Yeah! My favorite lobby theme is the one from Apollo Justice. It's so good. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Goro, did you find this Fiorio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Nice. Yeah, I bought. Yeah, I think most of my... Well, actually, I don't know. It's hard to say. Because when I look at the analytics of my channel, I think the US is at the top. But that could be just the videos, you know? I'm not sure about streams. Have you played the Great Ace Attorney games? Oh, speaking of... I forgot to... do something. Hold on. Yo, Star, are you here? Still? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just do a little something. So, seemingly out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, earlier today, my guy hits me with this. Thank you. Just want to say thank you. You really didn't have to. I actually thought I had the games already, but I guess I don't. But thank you. Wait. Wait, maybe I do have them. Hold on. Let me check. Wait. Wait. Yes, I do have the game. I do have it. Okay, I'm honestly, thank God. Because I would feel bad if someone gifts me something and I don't get around to playing it anytime soon. Which happens, like, all the time. So yeah. Find somebody to give this game to. Still Giga Chat, yes, thank you. It's the thought that counts, thank you. But, yeah, might as well give it to someone else. Why the hell did it... I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, I'll decline the gift. Let me decline the gift real quick. He should be able to refund it. I mean, nobody played it yet. Yeah, I can't accept it, so I do have it. You're about to decline this gift. The Great Ace Attorney. Include a note to star the derpy Octoling. There we go. Oh, I think it automatically gives you a refund. It just said that it refunded the thing for you. So there's that. Thank you again, by the way. Thank you. Why does Steam let you give someone who already has the game? I don't know. I have no idea. I guess you can just do it, and then... Well, you just decline it if you already have it. I even tamed him. Okay, back to this. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Oh. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there too. Oh no, they're all scared. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Wait, the judge, where you at? Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Bruh. Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout, we can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Nice. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean he didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Where did bro go to? Huh. Phoenix Wright. You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You're just gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. Yeah, you're one to talk, Maya. I think it let me gift you because you had your game list that's possible, yeah. But again, I did check my game list and I do have the game already. I think that's why I was surprised when I saw, wait. They gave me the Great Ace Attorney? I have that game, I think. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Last I found my... yeah, sure, Judge. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You cross-examine... What is it? Please, witness. If you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no liar. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the Tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Bruh. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. This makes it seem like the judge has never, ever seen like a thug type witness or, you know, defendant. Okay, I guess we gotta watch what we press on. If you get too many penalties, the judge shits himself. Yeah. I was tied up in business last December. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Uh-oh. There he goes again. What the Tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So what? Now what? Press harder. How old is Viola? It's unknown, actually.
Objection!
This is a dead end, right? You know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. And I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Where were you? Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Goro, if you could please. Mr. Tigre. The court asks that you add that last statement to the testimony. I did, Red Mage, yeah. I'm thinking of downloading Dino Crisis 2 for that. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. 25. Huh. How did they get her age? So... I was in the office, never saw that kid before. On December 3rd, the day of the incident, there's a note saying meet with the Tiger on the 3rd.
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tiger, and the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Nice. Not bad. He was actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. He's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Ruh-roh. Bro turned into fucking Scooby. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. I could go for coffee right now. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Yeah, do it, Phoenix. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint. Just here. I see. That seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Okay. Didn't I tell you got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right? Yeah, it's time we Tigre drop him. Okay, so... I've never been to Tribulations, he says. But... what about these matches that were in his office?
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You just been snooping around in my stuff now, too? Wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Order. Order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Bro really went... Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussy. Cat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay. I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, the cross-examination, please. Hold it! If I want to wait around here any longer, I ain't gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see that he pays a penalty. Mr. Godo, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call it guilty verdict. So do it! Bruh. The Specialist Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know, since yous paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? 40 cups are lethal. I never looked it up. But whenever I drink, like, more than 3 cups, or like 3 cups, I feel guilty as hell. Yeah, Apollo, that's true. Okay, so... When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Lies. He actually couldn't have.
Objection!
You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? Input the Willem Dafoe meme here. I'm something of a loan collector myself. No one escapes the Tigre's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Nice, Phoenix. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. And I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing in the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Ha ha ha. Got him sweating now. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But he did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
Let him cook. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
Yeah, go Phoenix. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kuda was not Glenn Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kuda falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Oh yeah, this theme is amazing. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Oh, that's easy.
Take that!
Obviously, the killer is Fiorio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Phoenix! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. He's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, don't leave me alone to handle this. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Goto. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The serving... Oh. Right. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Objection!
Where oh, there he is. Very impressive, Mr. Goto. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, right? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an impostor as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kuda witnessed? This lady. Amogus. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadavarini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. You're just making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Uh-oh. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true that there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a, kind of a cackling laugh. I like how even Tigre is like, whoa, dude, you might want to take a step back here. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. In the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real, no cap, and once for show. And Mr. Fiorio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you! Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? Yous are right. I could do with a guy like you, Rand. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give Yus one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about. He's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But Yus missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was on the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? You really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. Look at all these Yakuza fans in chat. The moment they hear joint, they lose it. They're like, joint? One more streaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you'll explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned Elk cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won, $500,000. He got lucky, you know? Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know? That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. I wish they would port over the original PS2 versions just to preserve the originals. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that happen as well. Like, they have the base with the HD releases. They can just port it. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I got no motive, he ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? The waitress, you mean? Would be nice if they were ported too, since emulating while using an Xbox controller is kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, you can use a PlayStation controller just fine. You should be able to. But yeah, like, just having a port would be nice. Like, more accessible. The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom. Over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness' testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Oh yeah, I figured we were talking about Yakuza as well, but I mean, hey, he is to his attorney? Hell yeah. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. The Tigre's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Oh yeah?
Objection!
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash. That's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it? Huh? Oh, no problem. I thought you were actually just making a joke. Yo, Pineapple, how you doing? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. Uh-oh. Where did you just get all that info? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year and was paid in full. $1 million? That's a preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. Sometimes a pretend Better Call Saul takes place in the Ace Attorney universe. Imagine that. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order! 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 You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadavarini. Did you say Cadavarini? Bruto Cadavarini, mob boss in charge of all the underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadavarini. Oh, nice, Phoenix. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadavarini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. What do you say to that, witness?
Objection!
It's a nice little fairy tale, right? But even if the witness did need $1 million, that doesn't tie him to Mr. Elg's murder. Mr. Elg only owed him $100,000 and had no hope of repaying it anyway. Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spit. I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite. Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Do you know where you're going with this, Nick? You gotta think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box. It's very straightforward. Mr. Tigre wasn't after the $100,000 at all. What is he cooking? It seems to have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? What exactly was Mr. Tigre after? Is it MC Bomber? Yes. Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. You keeping with me so far? That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money. Care to explain how skill can be used as collateral to secure a loan, Trite? He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? Oh no. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Mr. Tigre, you couldn't have cared less about the $100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus. Nice. Minecraft Bomber, yeah. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. The miracle never happened, yeah. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elk and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elk, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. This old guy. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Stride, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
Objection!
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owned the witness money too. $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order! Order! There he goes. You just put on a good show, Spiky. If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid created a witness and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright. Yeah, Rahmat, I know. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Finally, we call out the fucking, like, weird show that he put on.
Take that!
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Yeah, imagine being fooled by that, right? It's not like a whole fucking courtroom did. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Thank you, Phoenix. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. He's like, hold up. Although, Now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? Uh-oh. No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Get him, Judge.
Objection.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Bruh. Hey. Forget about it, yeah? Wow, he's being awfully... compliant. I wouldn't do something like that, not me. Look at this guy. Would you guys believe him? Look away for a second. Look at him instead. Hold on. Guys, if this guy asked you nicely to hand over your life savings, but he begged you like nicely like this, would you do it? Would you? You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection.
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right? Here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godo is right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. Oh, God damn it. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. No, God damn it. Huh. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the Tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. He's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Yeah, where's Gumshoe? Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence... One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You're free to go, Mr. Tigre. Oh? Your Honor, sir. Gumshoe! Detective! Detective Gumshoe! Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge. The works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Let's go. Absolute Giga Chat moment. Nice. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so, do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the Tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright? That's great. We got them now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the Tiger put poison in Glenn Ellis' coffee. He already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great, no matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Gumshoe, don't say that. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence this whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Maggie. Detective Gumshoe? You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair for now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could perhaps prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, try it, show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court. Well, here we go. Actually.
Take that!
This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Are you seeing what Phoenix is cooking? My prints are on that fancy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Watch him. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get to the stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the Tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, no. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the Tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Uh-oh. Oh, God, I was molding. Oh. Mr. Tigre, you've done it. Got him. At last. What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find any my prints on it. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known that all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in the courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who he was messing with. I'm the Tigre. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You just think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you. The biggest phony of all. Uh-oh. There he goes. I yelled so loud that the electricity went out. Oh, look at that. I've heard lawyers and police pull this in court in real life. Yeah, makes sense for them to do that. It's a smart tactic. What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Oh. Hey, Godo. Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Not again. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, he caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godo? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn L., Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the Tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Fiorio Tigre is truly a frightening criminal. Huh. A truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godo. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Congratulations, Maggie. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. Yeah, Apollo. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the Tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Gumshoe! Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. No, come back. Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh. Well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. No, come back. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. No, it was. It was. It's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, you practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. The weenies. Gumshoe's lunchbox. Fills the stomach with love and plenty of weenies.
Take that!
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe. Made with a ton of love. You said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know. Understandable. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on for a bit today, did it not? Is it okay if I eat this now? That right there. When the weenie's so good you cry. It's really good. That looks delicious though. I'd like to have some. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations... Well, buddy, slow down. Who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. I like that there's little rice leftovers as well. The detail. Case 3 end, you guys. We did it. 2 cases left. And thankfully, look who's here. We're gonna be able to finish this today, because it's really short. We're almost at 2 hours, goddamn. Okay, now before we do this, I will take a short water break, and you guys should hydrate as well. And in the meantime, we should play something. What should we play? Good enough? I'll be back, you guys. Look at your guys' reactions. I love how one of the first things to pop up after I played the song is the fucking blink. You know, fittingly enough. Hey, listen. If you guys troll me like you did earlier by, you know, oh, what happened to the stream? Well, this is my response to that, okay? Okay, so. Turnabout beginnings. Actually, hold on. Okay, I thought like the viewer count dropped by 20 because I played the song or something. Wasn't here for the troll though. You know what? Actually, the girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Phoenix? I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Look at this high-tech interface. Terry Falls. Kidnapping, murder, death penalty. Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Captured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. Only a year? Six years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. Okay, people. Most of you know this already, but some of you might have been confused. Why do they keep calling Godo Ichiban? I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Hey, buddy. Good morning. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Do you guys believe him? ترولوا عليك ايش التراش ذا؟ لا كله غشمرة يعني اللي صار انه اول ما حاولت اسوي ستريم النت يقطع مرة ومرتين، ثالث مرة صار اوكي. بعدين صاروا يتغشمرون انه اوه يلا خل نسوي احنا انه كنا نقطع مرة ثانية. Yeah, the pun names. Terry Falls. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk. Try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? Okay. What? I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill anybody. I never lied. I didn't escape from prison. No. Okay. Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. He looks pretty scary in the HD release when he bites the thing. And then he has this fucking face. The polar opposite. Sorry, I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Okay. I'm really sorry. Look at him. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with a victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha! Look! Who is this mysterious guy? You're not gonna figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. There we go. The money shot. Where's Mr. Grosberg? That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Yeah, Goto is a Discord mod. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grosberg Law Offices, is here for me? No, no, no. You got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. The Riz! This guy. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax, I just heard some good news. El Riz? Why? Okay, guys, based on what you just heard, is it El Riz or is it W Riz? The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Oh no. I fucking hate how the Discord memes ruined that word. Like, I just can't look at it any other way now. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's time to go. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him. Not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. That's my birthday! Yo, February 16th. Who is this? Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. Finally, a different judge. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Young Edgeworth. This should be interesting. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? Hey! Yeah, Canadian judge. Where's my beloved Baldy judge? Oh, don't worry about him. He'll come. He always comes back. I don't know, Axel. I'll see about that later. They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little... Oh, he loves this word, doesn't he? I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Oh, yeah. 20. How old is Mia here? Would she be 25? I think. And this guy's 27. A bit smug. Just a little bit. Wait, this guy is younger than... No way. My client sentenced to death. Okay. And the victim, Valerie Hawthorne, 23. Diego was a Discord mod. That's his villain origin story. Yeah. Why does Edgeworth only dress like a vampire? Maybe he is one. Yeah, Terry looks older for sure. young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Oh, shut up, Boomer. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon, is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. Yes, he did say kitten. You guys need to get used to it. That's just how it is. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Wait, how long ago was that crime? There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct, but in the end... Oh yeah, 5 years ago, right. Wait, okay, sorry. I got the timeline confused a little bit. Godo says a lot of weirder shit, to be honest. Yeah, he does, for sure. Like, looking back on this game now, some of the stuff Godo says is like the stuff you would hear, like, you know, stuff the alpha male instruction videos would tell you to say. Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Oh yeah, same Apollo. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha! I see. Wait. Oh, excuse me, hold on. Ah, god damn it. My upper right part of the back kind of has like a strain, and it's pretty uncomfortable. And sneezing with that is even more uncomfortable. Thank you guys. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped... Right, I think I read this already. With only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. Bro thinks he's... Look at me. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty.
Objection!
Bruh, let me make my case first. Thank you, Azzy. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice, or you... Bruh! How about he shut up? Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Yeah, coming from someone who's younger than me. Why, you? Yeah. Thank you, Mia. You're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. A young gumshoe with a Dante coat. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division. Promotion for my little boy. Half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Mia, come on. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're You're really Bro thinks he's got the riz. You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. So, she was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. Yeah, that was the beginning of the salary cuts, I think. Maybe. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warned you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Yeah, is he? Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Hoser? Is that a Canadian word? Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake, and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car and trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Oh, thank you, Ezzy. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, will the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright? Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you got. Kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Okay. I cringed a little bit every time he says kitten. We should all get used to it. And since you said that, every time he says that now, from now on, I'm gonna emphasize it a little more. How about that? This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? He called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk. gonna throw tomatoes? Oh no. Am I just gonna see chat flood with tomato emojis? Is that it? According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's the detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Edgeworth, you fucking... Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Huh. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Yeah, Star. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. What the? What? Goto? I mean, Diego? You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Not the Andrew Tate comparison. God damn it. Detective. Was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Wear white scarf for identification. Where is the scarf?
Objection!
Witness. Yes? What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. This is the first time I've actually had to address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Oh my god. What? Okay, that sentence, someone might want to check that. It sounds mighty sussy. Well, you're still too young to be drinking real What? Come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Dude. Was he always this cringe? Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note. It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where's the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. Oh no, not the tomatoes. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you're searching so desperately for, is it this one perchance? That looks kind of blue. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The judge looks so silly when his eyes are wide open. He does, yeah. Best Ace Attorney cross-examination theme. Apollo Justice. Dude, Apollo Justice has so many of my favorite themes. It's insane. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished, embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what was going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. A potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. As you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. The truth is becoming clear to me now. Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Okay, so... The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back.
Objection!
Oh, that's not it. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. How is it wrong, then? Let me just save. Oh, I got the wrong thing. I was thinking maybe she was gonna mention the fact that it would have been easier to just kind of stab her from the front. So the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere. Yeah, go off, Mia. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. I guess that she should be wet then? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of that bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Yeah! The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If your honor had fallen in the shower instead of a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, part of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Oh no. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. What was it again? The evidence is the scarf. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge obviously was covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice Whoa, bimbo! Hey, same to you, buddy. Yeah, tell him, Mia. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation is in this case, shall we? Alright. It sounds like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty well for a little kid. Diego, can you stop, please? Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over there. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Alaikum salam, up. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in this case, I'm gonna assume the trunk photo. Oh no, it's the testimony, huh? It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's sussy. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there truly was a decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Nice. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness. Witness, yeah, I thought he said eyewitness. After all, the witness, where are they at? You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from court. We're prepared to present our witness at any time. Okay. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Well, look who it is! Look who it is. A bit of a throwback, huh? Look at that fucking judge, dude. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Is it? Wait, okay, wait. Isn't she 14 in this case? When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. What the fuck does that mean? I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have... Okay, Judge. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Okay, dude. No. This is 1 year before the first case of the game. Okay, so she's 19 here, okay. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You're a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's not trouble at all. Yo, patience. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. Hold up. That's not what she said last time. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Dolly, you know? I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? That's a Canadian thing. Double means 2 cream, 2 sugar. Wait, oh wait! I think I heard that expression before now that you mention it. But it was with a triple. Either triple or something like that. Now that, yeah. Thank you. Actually, wait, I heard... When I heard that sentence, I heard it being discussed in a stream. And they were talking about whether or not they say the same thing in America, if I remember right. Yeah. So the streamer is Canadian, and he was talking about how in Canada they say triple, as in triple cream, triple sugar, I guess. And he was asking chat if in America they do the same thing. But I think the American people in chat said that they don't. So they say triple scoops of sugar, I guess, or triple scoops of cream. Something to that effect. Interesting culture bit. And you were the one who took this photo, is that accurate? Oh, how can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you oh my god, dude. What are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then, I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. Hey, Carlos. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera. I was using, at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Ho ho ho, what a cute camera. Just like its owner. Alright then, Miss Fey. Time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. I swear to God, no judge in this country, like, knows how to be a judge. Let's see. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Wait. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Oh, wait. Wait. This wouldn't be the crucial moment.
Objection!
Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented the photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Oh. How is this judge even more simpy than his brother? I know, right? My apologies, young lady. But Miss Fey's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up, the film, I mean. You ran out of film? You know, in hindsight, the way Melissa behaves is really not that different from, what's her name? April May? Yeah, April May, yeah. Like, it's very just obvious, like a persuasion attempt. This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. June, July, yes, thank you. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. It seems that Miss Fey's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more photos, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Melissa Foster. Yeah, maybe it is supposed to sound like imposter. Melissa Foster. Melissa Foster. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. Okay. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Yeah, 2 cases back-to-back with imposters. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. 1 short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say that there were 2 contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. Nice. What does all of this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? What? Who would have guessed? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. Is this an updated autopsy report moment? I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. Oh no. We can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Uh-oh. That guy's good. I was gonna say no good. What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm sorry, I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. Alright, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. That sounds sussy, that last sentence. Witnessing such a violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh, well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. Oh god, I want some mocha now. God damn it. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye. Your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Coffee making stream when? Technically, I have a coffee making video. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. I don't know about that.
Objection!
He could have dropped the body. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. She's onto something. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do well to try to take a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous.
Objection!
Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car? That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. All you have to do is tell us what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Bruh, who's he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. No. After he stabbed her in the back, okay. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. Let me save. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Question mark? Done what? Made a crucial mistake. Crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk with a stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your own eyes? Yes, and? Oh, shit. It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Yep. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Get her! Get her! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. Get her, Mia! Get her! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Objection!
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it.
Objection!
What? How does that make sense? But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that.
Objection!
I wonder what Doug Swallow thinks of this trial. Say. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive, divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair! Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax, then you need to remember. The other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car, hid the body there. So tell me, how did she know that? Nice, Diego. Nice. I wish there were more cases with Mia. Yeah, same. Like, these two flashback cases are really, really nice. But I would have loved to see cases with, like, present Mia. When the witness gets the benefit of the doubt, but the defense doesn't, yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're gonna have a lot of very sussy people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the car trunk, because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said. Is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. It's the opposite of what Todd Howard says. It just doesn't work here. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when. When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... Uh-oh. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. Wait. When... Wait. I just realized the way I said that. When she stuffed the corpse in herself. Not... Never mind. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it. Wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never... It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have been still in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Nice. Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. The DS buff. I mean, it seems fair. You still, like you can't get away with it if you do Jans, for example. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. It is automated, remember? Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she brought this camera just to take this picture. Nice, Mia. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well, please answer the question then. YouTube is getting wild, we just got an ad during the live stream. I mean, yeah, that's that's how monetized videos and streams work. Let's see. Ooh, this is a spicy one. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order! Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. Is Dead by Daylight my favorite game? Fuck no. I enjoy the game, but it has so many problems. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if somebody put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. Like what? Well, for starters, Yakuza, Resident Evil, the Legend of Heroes games. There's a lot of games I can think of. Ace Attorney, much better games than Dead by Daylight in general. But I mean, you're comparing very different games. Like, you know, you can prefer an online game over an offline game, but also they're pretty different. And I don't really know which one I would pick if I were to pick one favorite game or franchise. I just have a lot of favorites. Now that the question came up, what's your favorite game, Leon? Well, I did basically just answer, but it's hard for me to pick. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? Dead by Daylight, very fun game. You can play as killer against 4 dudes. Yeah, I know, I have 5,000 hours in the game. By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Nice. Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls herself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. Yeah, close. I'm also of the opinion, like, you know, if you can pick a favorite, cool. But for me, I'm an enjoyer of a lot of things. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. Is that how you pronounce it? Penitentiary. I think so. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. Yo, finish. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? Got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. The note! He told her to wear a white scarf, see? Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Let her cook. Where is Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess. Mia Fey. You're hereby held in contempt of court as you are made my future girlfriend. That sounds like something Godo would say. My future kitten. Correction. Mr. Falls, Oh, girl! I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. The incident that happened 5 years ago. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart. Fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like you sound like the one that could fall apart any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The plot thickens. The girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. Yeah, 5 years ago she was 14, so this guy was 20. Dahlia was 14. At first I thought shooting someone for kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betray me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe kidnapping too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia. My girlfriend. My love. My teenage... Oh no. That doesn't sound good. Did he actually say... Oh, thank you, Mia. Did he actually say, my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I'd do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. I actually forgot that Valerie is in on it as well. Dahlia's family, rich, jewelry business. We get one jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note we sent to her dad. I asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright? In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. She shoot at me for real, me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with the police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into a roaring river, 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forgot what she looked like. So I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls. Where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really. I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? Autocorrect. Yeah, it can be annoying sometimes. That day on the bridge. Dahlia put it in the backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. Oh, bruh. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. You know, this actually reminds me of a real-life case. I don't know if you guys heard about it, and I forgot the names even. But there was a case in the United States. I think this happened in the 60s even. It was like a long time ago. But there was a guy around his age, like 20 to like 25-ish, give or take. And he allegedly had this like girlfriend that was like, again, 14-ish. And they went on this like killing rampage. But if I remember correctly, when they were caught, I think she kind of tried to make it seem like he was taking her basically against her own volition. But like, I forget if they proved whether or not she was actually truthful about that or not. It's a pretty tricky case, so to speak. But that did happen, and I forget the killer's name. Leon, that shit happens weekly in the US. There are more cases like this than you think. It's funny that you say stuff like that when I hear about... From a friend of mine, by the way. I hear about how, like... Never mind. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Yeah, like, it does kind of make you think. A lot of the cases we hear about are only, well, the cases that we hear about. How many cases do we not hear about? Simultaneously, you have a lot of mysteries that are still mysteries. And again, how many mysteries are there that haven't been discovered? You know what I mean? It's kind of a scary thought. I'm a sucker for true crime stuff. Like, I like watching videos about that stuff. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand the defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. If it's hard for you to imagine that, you haven't seen enough cases. Like, goddamn. Yeah, Klaus. I think Starkweather is... Yeah. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Kitten? Diego, how many times do you want to say this? Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you could quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course! Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's oh, the shade. I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. Oh no. I see, you're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Yeah, Klaus. Holy shit, you're right, Stefano. She does have a Skyrim haircut. Like one of the fucking Vanilla-ass base game haircuts. I was out of the country until the year before the last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Wait, what? Oh, I was trying to click, but I couldn't. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Let's do this. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. The client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? The client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of ID, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. Clearly is a bitter man. Yo, KHY, how you doing? This is bad. Mr. Fall's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with the last statement? Have it added. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not what I... Enough, witness, if you would. Okay. Guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf.
Objection!
Witness, I want you to take a look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Oh, you're talking about this scarf right here, eh? Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. White. This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look like... That doesn't look white to me. Oh! Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf is white is... Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding the meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf? Oh! Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Nice. Well, Miss Foster? Looking mighty sussy now. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note to Valerie Hawthorne is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia Hawthorne. Yeah, Mojima. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. Actually, wait, let me check. Right, yeah. What's this? So who is this person, this Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. Go, Mia. Go, go. You said she was killed. But was she, really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found.
Objection!
She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age as you are.
Objection!
Nice. Even you couldn't... Miss Faye! You're not saying... Oh, but she is. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Yeah! Make him squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it would come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Yeah, Diego is a true modern-day poet. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Buddy, he's hiding info. Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? It looks like the kid knew. We knew her true identity from the get-go. No way. But then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't gonna say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of the victim. How did she live? Very good question, actually. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder.
Objection!
Yeah, Mia has a point. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. Iframes, yeah. That's how she survived. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? Yeah, the cat-like reflexes. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow she's turned it around on me. No, Mia, you have everything. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Did Diego say that? That wasn't me, it was this guy. The crazy coffee addict.
Objection!
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Did he just call it... Dude. Me and a friend of mine were talking about this one day. I swear to God, this seems to be a thing prominent in Japanese media. But like, as soon as you turn over like 25, you're an old man. You see this in Yakuza in every fucking game. You see this in here too. What makes you think that they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me. The rashness of youth, how charming. This is coming from someone younger than me. Edgeworth versus Diego. Diego would wipe the floor with Edgeworth. Now then, let's not waste any more time, Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering your own sister? I'll tell you. It might be a translation problem, yeah. Just like they decide to localize it as old man. Or, actually, no, wait. No. Like, the term, I guess, Osan. Like, it is, you do hear it a lot in Yakuza. I know that for a fact. But it could be a localization thing as well, I don't know. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. She told her that she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth. There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? What is your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things. Such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Nice. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it will be painful for you, but can you enlighten us? Once more, my little maple leaf. Bruh. We know you're Canadian. Yes, I'll try. Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Nice. Get her, Mia. Get her. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. You know, you have to wonder, where's the rest of the family in this, you know? Like, where are the parents? With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Oh, Edgeworth, I'm about to give you a reality check. Just sit down and watch this. I'll ask you to be gentle. Yeah, shut up, Judge. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten, don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. Yeah. Yo, virtual events, thank you for the dragon tier. Thank you, buddy. Welcome. Welcome to the family, son. The thing with Dahlia's family... Oh, right. Maybe they mentioned it later, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dahlia made sure all of her family is dead, so no one comes back to haunt her. Imagine that. Yo, virtual. Welcome. What you're saying is that the kidnapping, yeah, was planned by Dahlia, Valerie, all of them. Okay. That's when he tried to kill her.
Objection!
I don't know about that. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push. Actually, wait. I think the reason is because... I think if he pushed her, I think they were around there. She would have hit the ground, not the water. I think. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. Oh, Dahlia. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in the last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you've claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible.
Objection!
Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then.
Objection!
But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Nice. Get him, Mia. You're right. If the events occurred just as a witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Of course she's gonna say yes. Now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion.
Objection!
No. No, you. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's possible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. Look at it. Bro is molding. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Let's see. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. But let's remember the size and the strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. Nice ritual, good job. So young and already so forgetful, Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Nice. Order, what is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Why the Tigre roar? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun in handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but that's still exactly what you did. A kitten roar. Oh my god. Is that what Diego hears every time Mia speaks? You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current, but even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she would want to jump into the river? I'll tell you, Edgeworth. The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the river. The diamond. 5 years ago. Something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. Nice. No. It can't be. Oh, it can be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was gonna keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river. With the ransom, she tucked away safely in her backpack. Why that's simply ridiculous. No.
Objection!
Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic Edgeworth, for a genius, you're actually kind of dumb, not gonna lie. I hear of... God, I mean, I'm sure the chat is no stranger to this, but like, some of the most heinous crimes I've heard about are done by underage people. Like, come on. This woman is a demon. Yeah, tell him, Mia. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well?
Objection!
But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, After receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. She was gonna tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill two birds with one stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Oh, look at Edgeworth. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Finally. Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Faye? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Faye. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Look at how confident she is. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Go off, King. Actually, hold on, guys. I'll drink water. Like 10 seconds, okay? 10 seconds, and I'll be back. Alright, let's blow this case. Mr. Armando. Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony. On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. How long did I take, actually? I have no idea. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car, and then went to meet with him. Disguised as his sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Exactly what Matthias said. There's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie's murder. Right. The guy. The guy. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know